Hey everybody, John Reap here. You're about to watch and or listen to episode 35 of Country-ish. And we got a stacked show for you today. Comedian, actor, very funny guy Erik Griffin joins us. And in small town news, a redneck judge has to take a sensitivity course. Also, we play another game of how much is that Screen Actors Guild residual check. This is good. And I open another letter from my pen pal from Russia, Natalie. Let me get it for you.
Just a country boy, and he's making it good. He was Jons underdog, dressed in overalls, living next to the wood. He liked to eat the sushi, but he don't even fish. Not so much a country boy, it's more like he's country-ish. Moved out of his green and headed for Southern Cal. Wound up in TV and film, making Popsicle proud. Now this country boy is back with his family. Got himself a podcast, he knows it'll last, cause he's in Hickory.
That's right, baby. I am in Hickory, and I'm happy about it. I hope you're happy, wherever you are. Happy, healthy, safe, and sound. It's a new thing I'm doing. 2 H's, 2 S's. Happy, healthy, safe, and sound. I'm John Reap. I'm the host of this podcast, and we're everywhere, man. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, you name it. Wherever there are podcasts, there is Country-ish. And I'm not alone. I'm doing it with my friends. And we've been going one at a time or John solos because of the pandemic and whatnot. And as you can see, I got my mask. I have this around me. I don't always have it on. I feel like this is like accessible. I put a shoestring back here. And I can just pull it up when I want and then put it back down. I'm two-faced.
I thought you might have one of those trachs and you was making double.
Right. Well, let me walk you guys around the room. That silky smooth voice that you just heard. Good to have him back in here. It's been a minute. Sitting at my, dare I say, 151.
Bacardi.
Yeah, you like a Bacardi. You like to party like a Bacardi. Sitting at my 151, a very tall man. I'm talking 8 feet 3 inches tall, of twisted steel and sex appeal. His name is Sebastian, but he's also known as the Southeastern Man of Mystery. Here he is. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. It's been forever.
I mean, it has. I got the COVID.
Yeah, I heard.
So, I got tested. I've been tested 3 times now. How many times?
Like 3 times a lady?
Yeah. 3 times it's a maybe. Have you been tested at all? Have you felt bad at all?
Well,
What's going on?
I just felt a little bad, And then after you told me you had it.
Yeah. Well,
I felt like I probably got it, but
Okay, well, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I feel like I felt bad for 2 days. Not
when you say you felt bad. What
for
were
me. I don't get sick. I don't stop. I worked.
Yeah.
But I found myself on a Saturday afternoon feeling like, oh my God, I'm tired, and I got up under the desk and went to sleep for 2 hours to get back up and went back to work.
So all it was you was tired.
Tired, and I felt like I had a slight fever, maybe a little flu.
Did you even take your temperature?
No, I don't have nothing.
You're just like, I feel hot.
I feel hot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then maybe you did.
I probably
because it affects people differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it didn't affect you, and you can still work. You're fine. You're strong like bull.
Other people called me too and said before you called me and said, that they wanted to let me know they could have been infected.
Right.
My friends weren't. It's kind of like getting these calls, and you're like, for a minute, you're like, is this a venereal disease call?
Right.
But it's the COVID.
Yeah. Just want you to know you might be pregnant.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, was I that hammered?
Yeah, it affects different people differently. I got tested the first time because I went on that canoe trip.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I went to Florida.
Right.
I went to Tampa.
Went to Tampa. And you were
came
negative.
back, tested negative, right? Then I felt like crap July 2nd, July 3rd, canceled that, got tested. It came back positive. And then, just because I want everyone to know at home who's watching this podcast, if you're ever afraid, should I go see John Reap? Is he going to give me the COVID? No, because I got tested again, and now I'm negative, and I have the antibodies.
Good.
So I can't even, I'm Superman right now.
Right. You probably should be doing something like...
I should be giving my plasma away.
Is that what you do? I didn't know how you...
I don't know.
If you spit on people or you take it? I mean, what do you do with it?
Well, my plasma, it's weird. I have to give it to you through my semen. Just kidding. That's an old jokey joke. Calm down. I'm just joking. But no, I think I could donate plasma and get paid for it. There's a racket there. There is. Yeah. But, I've also heard this, dude, that you can't even trust all these numbers that are going on because a good friend of mine said that his niece, right, as an experiment, bought 10 tests shipped to their house that you can do your home kit.
Have home kits.
Yep. And then opened up the kits, didn't even swab themselves, but put it in the test tube. Didn't touch it. Just opened it up, put it in there, shook it up, and mailed it, and 6 came back positive.
Wow.
So I don't know what you can trust anymore.
I don't either.
But I can tell you that I felt like crap for 2 days. And I'm pretty sure I had something. So, but don't worry, it's over. I'm glad you're fine though. Yep. All right, cool. Have you been going to Florida?
Been going to Florida.
How is it?
Shit, I got tested before I came in.
Well, again, you can't get sick. You're fine.
I got the antibodies.
I got the antibodies, so we're fine either way. Plus, I'm wearing a mask. Yeah. Down here. My neck will be fine.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think it's overblown in Florida.
Yeah. So you've been going to Florida. Everything's fine. Florida's wide open still. Are they cutting back? I can't remember.
They're concerned. Some you don't know. You go there'll be one city where they're like, you can't come in without a mask.
Right.
And the next city 5 miles down the road, come on in and have a party.
But that's all Florida.
It's city to
wide
city.
Up.
It's
okay.
wide.
All right. Well, look, we got a jam-packed show to do today. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for wearing the country-ish gear. Look, he's a model, man. Look, see how good this guy looks? Do you want to look this good? It's real simple. All you got to do to look this good is go to, is it johnreap.com, or does Country-ish Podcast have the merch page on there anymore? I don't know if it does, Alan. Something I meant to talk to you about. I think, if you go to johnreap.com, you can definitely click on shop and you can get stuff. So let's just say that. If you want to get a hat, a shirt, a koozie, a ginger beard mask like this, go to johnreap.com, click on shop. But let me tell you what we got in store today. We got a great show. As you can see, I have a Screen Actors Guild Residual check. We're going to play that game.
Wow, I don't ever get to play that game.
You and Alan are going to play it. We also have another letter from my pen pal, Natalie, from 1991 in Russia. This is her third letter. There's a series of 4, and there's a 5th letter from another person. Anyway, what I've been doing is reading one and then reading my response. So now is the time that I read one. I think maybe I found her on Facebook.
The great reveal.
I think, big reveal. And we got new, and also an interview with Erik Griffin, very funny comedian. Perhaps you've seen Workaholics on Comedy Central. He's got a big role on there, and tons of movies and TV shows and Netflix specials and Showtimes. You'll know him when you see him, coming up soon. So, and then we got Small Town News, crazy story out of Texas. All righty. I say, we got to give a shout out to our new Patreon member. Bryn Adams just signed up. Hello, Bryn. Thank you. She's at Rhinestone level. And you get a free shout-out as soon as you sign up. So thank you, Brent. If you want to be a Patreon member, you want to support the show, you can go to countryishpodcast.com, click on support. There's many different levels that you can do to support the show, and every little bit. All of them are great. We love it. You can do it that way. Or if you're broke and you don't have any money, but you still want to kind of help, you can go write us a brand new review on Apple Podcast or iTunes and give us a rating of 5 stars. In fact, we have a bunch of new reviews that we could read right now. Let's see here. Alan, I don't know where to start. Should I go? I got them on my computer here, so I can go either way. Let me start with this one. I'll start with the newest first. And I'm sorry I made the biggest breakfast today. I experimented.
Man, I need a wife like you.
You do. My cooking skills go underrated because my mom doesn't enjoy. I don't think she has an exquisite palate like I do. She likes her basic stuff, and she ain't changing.
Yeah.
I like to experiment with things. I made French toast.
Ooh, that's my favorite.
And I had a leftover hamburger patty, cut a hole out of it, put an egg, and fried up an egg in it, and then made that a sandwich with cheese in a French bread. Not French bread, French toast. Isn't that great?
That's awesome. What are you calling that? Reaptastic or what?
It is reaptastic. It's very good. It's acid reflux heaven is what it is. That's killing me right now. Anyway, I'm going to read the newest first. Here's one by Tella Coleman 97. It says, love country-ish. 5 stars. Really enjoy listening to your podcast weekly. I've had the privilege to see you twice in Lexington, Kentucky. I live in Southern Ohio, across from Huntington, West Virginia. I recently purchased your mask and love it. Awesome. Great conversation starter. It is. He said even more to church. That's awesome. Well, rejoice. Thanks for all the great laughs. By the way, horns has nothing to do with the sex of the cattle. It's a breed thing. Well, thank you. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I saw that on the podcast.
Stamos gave me a cow head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought maybe horns meant the bull.
Don't it normally mean? But I thought it did.
I guess not. And I live right next to a dairy farm. Look, that's why I say I'm country-ish. I don't know all the facts about dairy farms and cows and
Did
bovines.
Foxworthy give you the redneck test?
He did not.
He should have.
He did not.
We should get him to just ask.
I didn't even get into the ish part of country-ish.
Yeah.
We just started talking.
Oh, I know. It was a great interview.
Man.
Best one I've seen.
Thank
He's
you.
awesome. He's a great guy.
I am so flattered that he laughed out loud at my impression of him.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. If you haven't seen that, you need
Yeah,
to
go back and look at episode 34, I believe it was, with Jeff Foxworthy. All right, let's continue. Here's another one. Says, speaks my language from The Worm, but it's TH3W0RM. Been a John Reap fan for years. Been to many shows around the Charlotte and Concord area. Love his views on just about everything. But the fact that he's practically a local to me and his views of the outside world have me horse laughing sometimes when I listen to the show. Great show. Well, thanks, buddy. I'll take a horse laugh. And by the way, I do know horses, stallions are men, mares are female.
There you go.
I do know that. And I learned that because someone wrote a song called She's a Stallion, and this person has no idea that he's talking about a male horse. All right. I don't want to correct him either.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Oh, it's a songwriter.
Yeah.
I figured I know.
We've talked about it
I know
before.
who this is.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Can't get enough of this guy. 5 stars. Another. This is by You Cuffy Fugcug.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Another awesome podcast from a great comedian. Show does a nice job to fill the gaps between his comedy tours. John is a great storyteller with funny Carolina spin. Give him a listen. You'll be hooked. I feel like we've read that one before. Now here's one called Country-ish. Great podcast. Not sure how I found you, but glad I did. Great segments and good stories. Really like Member Me.
Yeah.
Down to earth and relatable. Been from somewhere in the Georgia Pines. Bicycle. Well, thank you, BTH75. Alan, there was another one. Oh, is it called One of the Best? Okay.
No, the one after that.
Remember Me. Yeah. All right. Well, I might as well read all of them. Yeah. Adam Soder says, one of the best. Started listening, watching the podcast more often since the pandemic started, and I'm now hooked. Every Friday I listen while working from home, and it makes the crazy days seem somewhat normal. Great work. Keep them coming. Thank you, Adam Soder. He's a Patreon member. And this is one we thought was funny. Member Me by Guff. These guys must be related to each other.
Yeah, they're brothers.
How would you pronounce that name? Figgy.
Fiffy.
Yeah, I think they're just making up names. Like it's just hands on the keyboard. Yeah. Anyway, listening to the pod gives us 5 stars, and he says, or she, listening to the podcast, loved the Member Me segment, and pulled out an old yearbook from middle school, called the number of my first kiss to find out she is in jail or prison for burglary from her mom. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Well, I love that review.
Inspiration.
Yes. And I do have a yearbook, but we're going to save that for another episode. We got lots to do. Let's get to it. Are you ready to play a game with me, Sebastian?
Oh, I can't wait.
Are you excited?
I am, because I could win the money, right?
All right. So for those of you, maybe this is your first time tuning in to the podcast, let me fill you in here. We do a game. I get these checks in the mail from time to time from the Screen Actors Guild /AFTRA for movies I've done in the past, TV shows I've done in the past, and I have no idea how much is in here, but we made a game out of it. And what I'm going to do is open this check, and I'm going to let Alan and Sebastian know what it's from, and they have to guess how much the check is for. Closest one wins the game. If they get it right on the head, they get the check.
Get the check.
And no one's ever gotten it just right. It's a game that we like to call How Much Is That Screen Actors Guild Residual Check? Great job.
Oh, we need a teleprompter up there for that, because I'll forget the words.
I know. I was looking right at your eyes. I was like, look at my face. Read my lips. That's a long title. All right, it's
I like it.
acceptable.
Sounds great.
Here we go. Boom. I'm opening. It is a check. This is great.
Yes, it's a check.
All righty. This is good.
Uh-oh.
This is good. This is good for me.
Yeah.
Unless y'all get it right. Okay. All right, this is for a movie I did called Into the Storm.
Ooh, big money.
Yeah, that's a big one. That was Warner Brothers picture.
Yeah.
And
wasn't Harvey Weinstein?
No, I didn't see him. If it was him, I didn't see him. This was Todd Garner. Okay. Good guy. Does a lot of comedies. And this is one check, but it's for pay TV. Free TV, electronic sell-through, and video/DVDs. Okay, and you got that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sources, one check, one movie. Into the Storm. Who wants to go first?
Alan.
I don't know. Alan, what
You
do you
really
think
want
I
me to go
should do?
first?
Huh?
You want me to go first?
Well, Sebastian wants you to go first, but I don't know if I want you to go first.
Yeah, I kind of want Sebastian to go first.
All right,
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
I want you to go first.
Okay. So
Into the Storm.
I felt by the body language it was good.
Right.
Better than the $17 one.
I'm going to help you. Yes.
Yes. You know, like a good night out.
It would be a great night out.
It'd be a great night out that we would have.
I'm going to give you a lot of hints.
Great night out that we'd have. And we have some good nights.
We have had a lot of great nights. This would be a great night.
Maybe even a great weekend.
This would be
A great weekend with
this would
maybe
be-
an overnight stay.
Yes, I'll say that. But not in Florida.
Not at the Hilton.
Not in Florida. Not at the Hilton. I mean, this would be a staycation.
Okay.
I think it'd be a great staycation, though.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to? No, go ahead.
I'm going to say 400 and...
Alan, I gave him.
I know. You know what I was going to say to begin with? I was going to say $878.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I was going to say. But then I thought Alan was going to undercut me.
You're closer at 800 than you are 400.
Yeah.
Do you
I
want
feel like it's probably 1,000.
I've given you a lot of hints. Wait, you feel like what?
I feel like it was 1,051.
51. What?
1,051.
Okay. You think it's $1,000.51?
Yeah.
$1,000 even and 51 cents.
No, $1,051.
Okay. That's good. I'd stay with that if I were you.
That's what I was going to.
Well, why didn't I go with your instinct?
I was worried about Alan. I'm looking in my rearview mirror.
I'm locking you in, dude.
Lock me in.
No
Go
more.
ahead, lock
No
me
more.
in. I'm no moving.
$1,051 and 0 cents. Locked in. The Alan Jackson. What is your guess?
I'm trying to see if I can get in the camera here. All right, I'm not in the camera. That's fine.
Can y'all hear that?
I
I'll
thought
just
he
be
was
the
looking at the
silent
camera.
voice here.
Can they hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Okay.
Everybody can hear me. I'm gonna go $945.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to do me
He
like
went up.
that.
954.
No, $45.
$45.
$945.
Oh, I know your son's in there. Does he want to make a guess?
Yeah, you can make a guess. This is Nick.
Nick, what do you think, buddy?
I think it's $1,012.
Nick, you're killing
Okay.
me.
Well,
So what's the guesses on the table right now?
1,054.
Yep.
54.
1021 with Nick. 12. 1012.
10-12 with Nick.
And then I was 945.
945.
Okay. Well, someone has to win
Someone does.
the game.
Yes. But not.
But does anyone win the check? Here
thought you-
is the amount
Okay.
of the check
Okay.
for Into the Storm,
Uh-huh.
a Warner Brothers film. It is 4 figures. It's in the 1,000 range.
Yes.
So, Alan, you're out.
I'm out.
Now it's
I'm out.
between Nick and Sebastian. $1,859.50.
Wow.
This is a great night out. This is a weekend.
We could stay at the Hilton for that.
Yeah, but then we could run up that bar tab easy. I'm thinking of the drinks, not the hotel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so this is great. Thank you, Todd Garner. Thank you, Warner Brothers. I will be depositing this tomorrow into the Grin Reaper account. And that's how you play. How much is that Screen Actors Guild residual check? Boom! All right.
won. No, I did win. Did I win?
No, wait, who won?
I won.
Yeah, Sebastian won.
Sebastian won the game.
I mean, he didn't get the
3-0.
check,
You
but
won.
he won the game.
You know what you get? Free Miller Lite. Dude.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Or do you want some Avion
Nope.
tequila? You
I
good?
don't need no tequila.
All right. Well, let's move on, man. I also do a segment called Jons Journal, and that's where I moved back home a couple years ago, and I was to take care of mom and dad and all that stuff. I'm not a comedian anymore. I'm an elder care Uber driver. And when I was moving back home, I found my old high school journal, and I would read them from time to time on the show. But I also found letters that I wrote a Russian pen pal from 1991, and I'm lumping this into the Jons Journal segment. So I'll go ahead and open it up. I almost forgot how I do this. Oh, no, I got it.
Yeah.
The segment is called, ask me what the segment's called.
Oh, me. John, what's this segment
Oh, this
called?
is Jons Journal. Jons Journal. This is where I read.
Well, you got the COVID out on that one, didn't you? John after COVID. You can see the
yeah.
results.
Yeah, it's Ovid. So anyway, this is the third letter that Natalie wrote me, and I've shown you a picture of
Yes.
her before. Alan, do you happen to have the photo of Natalie that I
Yes,
look at her.
there she is, Natalie. And how old? Right here again.
Right here, I believe she's 14 or 15.
Yes.
And I was, 17. And she, I didn't even meet her. She got my, little brief backstory for those of you who haven't watched the other episodes where we talk about this. This is the third letter. But in the first one, I revealed to you that I didn't even meet this girl, that she got my address from other people, and we just started writing letters to each other. And that was a picture she sent me. Okay.
Interesting.
Now, this is her third letter to me. Are you ready? Now,
ready.
Look how beautiful her handwriting is. And there's 3 different colors of ink that she uses.
Wow.
You've got, actually 4. You got
And
red,
cursive English.
green, black, and blue, and yellow.
You know why?
Red, green.
The pen, you remember the pen?
Oh, yes.
Had the little you go
Yeah.
one, you slide it down, yellow had all the 5 colors on it.
That's right.
And the yellow never worked. But it worked on hers.
Well, I believe this is just a Sharpie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I remember those pens.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. So this was written to me October 16th of 1992. So a year's gone by
Oh, okay.
from the first,
From the first
couple
one.
letters.
So she's now almost
Maybe she's 15 at this
15,
point.
16.
Yeah. Well, let's just read it. Dear John, hi, it's me again, Natalie. A sincere thank you for the wonderful newsy letter. Oh, no. This makes it sound like I was chatty.
yeah.
Newsy letter. I was so excited to receive your letter, and I loved hearing all the news. It was such fun to read because it was almost like talking to you. Oh, interesting. And then she switches color of ink to red. How are you, John? What's happening? Then she switches to blue. I'm fine. In my school, soon we take school leaving examinations. I'll have to take 2 written exams in Russian and algebra, and I am oral exams in English and geometry. I am a bit scared of exams, but I did well in the exams last year, and I hope I'll do well in the exams in this school year. I'm sure she did fine. Well, it's a lot of exams. An oral exam in English and geometry. Did you ever have to take an oral geometry exam? That'd be tough. Did you take
I
geometry?
took geometry.
Yeah.
I didn't do so well in geometry.
All right, she goes, John, you asked me for... I'm going to read it like she wrote it. John, you asked me for... I'm sorry, I did it wrong. John, you asked for me about the condition life in my country. Of course, I answer. I'm sorry that I'm making many mistakes. See, she apologizes. Her English is good. In Moscow, and in other city too, very difficult to buy something from food. In shops, a long turn from bread and other goods. Very difficult to buy modern things. Jeans, small cassette tape players, blouses. I want to have many modern things, but this is my little dream, because this is a thing cost very many money. For example, jeans cost 1,500 rubles. This is $15 US. We have system $1 US equals 100 Soviet rubles. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Okay. Of course, my parents can't to buy for me that jeans or cassette players, but I hope that these things I have. I hope that in our country soon be all right. Wow, and that was 92. That was after the wall fell, Alan. So this was it got rough right after.
It was
took a while to bounce back.
It did. It was some tricky times when we were out there visiting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. She goes, John, write me, please. Do you have here? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. John, write, please. Do you have here about condition life in Russia? In the next letter, I send for you a picture of me, okay? John, do you have a collection? She wants to know if I have a
Collection of pictures of
I
girls.
don't know of anything. And she did ask me this question in a previous letter, And I wrote back to her that I don't have a collection, that I used to collect refrigerator magnets. But yeah. So, but this is the second time she's had to ask me, and she's had enough. She wants to know if I got a collection. So let's continue. Do you have a lot of free time? What do you like to do for fun? I have little time to spare. I'm free only on weekends. My free time, I like to listen to music, watch TV, or to discuss new fashions with my girlfriend. Her name is Oksana. When I am with my friends, we like to go to a movie or cafe, ice skating, or to discuss new ideas. John, do you like to go to the movies? What kind of films do you like to watch? For example, I like to watch comedies. Oh, this is great. Thrillers, horror films, and she underlines horror films. Cartoons. Have you seen any Soviet films? Have I seen it? Does The Hunt for Red October count?
I don't think that counts.
No, it doesn't count.
Does
Alan's back there.
Just
That
because it
doesn't
has
count.
Soviets in it doesn't make it a Soviet.
Yes,
Got it.
the filmmaker back here is very
Die Hard wouldn't count?
No, it does not.
Rocky 3,
Rocky 3 doesn't count?
No, Rocky 4 does count. Rocky 4 is
counts.
officially
Rocky
a Soviet
4. Okay,
film.
I'm sorry.
What's the one? My dad, The Hunt, Dr. Zhivago?
Still an American film, but it does take place in Russia, so it's close.
That's the closest one I got.
Yeah.
All right.
Actual Soviet cinema, I don't really know.
Could you name one? And you're a film guy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue. This is great. I watch very many American. Oh, now I feel bad. I can't name one Soviet film. And she goes, I watch very many American films. Well, that's what we do. We export our films. That's our number one export, I believe. I very like American films. For example, Santa Barbara, The Love Boat,
Yes, me too. I'm a Love Boat fan.
RoboCop.
Oh,
She took a 90-degree turn there.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Did. Santa Barbara, The Love Boat, RoboCop, Double Impact.
wow.
That's Jean-Claude
That's
Van
Jean-Claude
Damme.
Van Damme.
Wow. I wish I could. God, I really hope that she connects with us somehow.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure about Santa Barbara, but The Love Boat, I've been talking about just recently wanting to watch
I love
The Love Boat.
Every time I hear
the series.
I have the Love Boat theme song on my phone.
Oh, yeah. It's great, isn't
Yeah.
it? It makes you happy as soon as you hear
Yeah.
it. RoboCop, excellent. Double Impact. Well, back we didn't know that Jean-Claude Van Damme would turn out to be the douchebag that he is, but whatever. It's great. Okay. She goes on. John, let's talk about your friends. Do you have many friends? Do you have a girlfriend? What is your friend's name? What do you like best about your friend? I'll tell you about my friends in the next letter, okay? All right. Well, I did answer. She asked me that question last time, and I answered it in this one. She said best friend. And I said back then it was Andrew Killian. Now I said I have the best of friends, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe my next letter will be a little more interesting. John, please let me know what you want me to write about. Okay, I'm going to give her what to write. Okay. I hope that you manage to understand my English. Please write, I wait your letter. Regards to your family. By Love, Natalie.
This
She's
is
throwing the love word
progressing
in
now.
there. Yeah.
This is the question: was this going to progress as we went along?
Right.
It's like an old-fashioned Tinder. It's going along after three messages.
Yes. It's like the longest, like that game, what do you call it, telephone?
Yeah.
With the can with the wire. Gosh. Well, I did answer her. Like I have a girlfriend, Natalie. If you're watching now, hello, Jody. And by the way, today's her birthday.
Today's Jody's birthday.
Love you, Jody.
Shout out for 33.
This is curiosity, though. It's killing me. So I'm going to answer this letter like I did the last one. I'm going to write her. I'm going to tell her what I want her to write about. But I did think I found her on Facebook because thanks to you guys out there that are watching this, a lot of you are giving me links to what you think her Facebook page might be or Instagram. And some of them are obviously not her because they're way too young. This girl would be 42, 43 now. And I think one of them looks like I think it's her. I think I found her, but her. Okay.
Let's
Now,
check
Alan,
it out.
Look at this. Click on one. If you click on that profile picture, yeah, you go. There you go. Look at this. Now look at that face and look at that face. Before, after. I think we found her.
I think that's her. Look at her lips.
Look at her mouth. Dude, that's her. If she took the sunglasses off, we could have her both. But I mean, that could be blonde. That could be blonde. I think it's her, but she's not been active on Facebook since 2018. So I don't know how. And I've already tried to friend request her, and I've sent her a message. I have no response. So what do we do from here? How do we? Is she on Instagram? Do I look this up? Alan, can you click on just maybe zoom back out like a wide? Yeah. Okay. So Natalie,
We got to find a friend.
What's
her friend?
Miheeva, Moscow. Went to, I don't know what that word is, but anyway, if there's anyone out there who knows Russian, I'm talking about you, Josh Hall. He knows Russian. Al, remember Josh Hall?
Yes, I do.
I think he studied
Oh, really?
Russian.
Okay, good. Well,
So, Josh,
need
if
this
you're
help.
watching this, help us solve this riddle here. All right. Okay, interesting. We've been talking for quite a while. I think it's time we take a little break, and when we come back, we've got small town news, crazy story. We got comedian, actor Erik Griffin, but we'll be right back with more country-ish after this. Hey everybody, John Reap here. Just want to say thank you for listening or watching this podcast. We love it when you do that. Also, I want you to go cruising with me. That's right, not in a car, in a ship. That's right. It's the Reaps Peeps Comedy Cruise. Check it out. If you go to johnreap.com, click on the Reaps Peeps Cruise. All the information you need is right there. It's in 2021. You got plenty of time. November the 6th through the 11th. We're going to a private beach in Haiti. We're going to Nassau. I'm doing stand-up. We're doing a podcast, and we're doing karaoke. 5 nights. It's going to be a blast. Get on the boat with me, John Reap, and the Reaps Peeps Cruise. Hey, everybody. I want to take a quick second to tell you, if you love this podcast and you love wearing shirts, well, we got something for you. If you go to countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, it'll take you to my store, and we have an awesome t-shirt for you. It's a Country-ish podcast t-shirt. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Also, it's got the website on there. It's a soft tee, very soft, feels good on your skin, and it helps us keep the lights on here at the studio. So check out countryishpodcast.com, click on merchandise, get yourself a t-shirt, and know that I love you. And we're back. All right, moving on. During the pandemic and the coronas and the COVIDs and the whatnots, everyone's trapped at home and they can't go on the road. I'm talking about my comedian friends. I take advantage of that situation. I have them zoom into my podcast. And today we got a good one. This guy is very funny. I've worked with him a long time ago. And you know this dude. Once you see his face, you're like, oh, I know that dude. He was a regular on the Comedy Central show Workaholics. He's been on Comedy Central, specials on Comedy Central, Showtime, Netflix. Very funny dude. Let's meet Erik Griffin.
Take another look and tell me that.
All right, everybody, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. I've been trying to get him on my podcast for quite some time. One of the funniest guys that exists on the planet, Mr. Erik Griffin. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I know you haven't. I don't know why we haven't done it before now. It's just, this is just crazy times we're living in. It's so bizarre. Yeah. I've even asked other people to be on my podcast, and one person said initially, like, well, I want to do it live. I'd rather do it, in your place. And so let's wait for that. And then cut to 3 months later, he just came on the podcast like this. So, I mean, this is our new normal, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. If you want to keep doing interviews, you're going to end up having to do it this way. Which, in a weird way, it benefits me because I don't live in Los Angeles anymore.
Right.
So I just got to get
you know what it's really done too is it's also trained the audience to be like, oh, this is okay. This format's fine. Like, it's like we had like a. Like before the pandemic, if you would have been like, hey, you want to do it like this? We might have been like, yeah. But now we're just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I'm at home and you're at home or whatever.
Right.
This is fine, So
where are you?
Everybody else used to it.
Where are you zooming in from today?
I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in LA.
Home?
Yeah, I'm home in my place in LA. And I got my little gaming because I game now. I've been doing that exclusively. So you wish you could catch me on Erik Griffin Gaming on Twitch. Catch me on Twitch.
That was going to be
Erik Griffin Gaming.
That was going to be my next question. Are you on
wait. How about this? Shameless plug.
That's awesome. I have yet to get on Twitch, but I know that's mostly for gamers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a pro gamer. I think people just like watching me be bad at the game. And then occasionally when I win, people get excited. And it's like, it's amazing, this little community that grows from it, I have a Discord and and then like, it's so funny because right now there's a few people on my gaming channel fighting with each other. And so I had to step in like, hey, stop it. It's like, it's so funny. Like, people, I think as human beings, we are naturally drawn to like community, no matter what it is,
right.
And I think that's one of the beauties of podcasting is like it does form a community.
Yes.
So people start to watch and they start to watch every week and they become followers in a way. I mean, that's why the term followers on Twitter and stuff like that, it's actually very significant because that's exactly what it means. People, it's about joining a group, a movement, a community, and we like doing that.
I see during this pandemic, I've been thinking about getting back on some sort of gaming system. And the last time I played, the last one I had was a PlayStation 2. So I know I'm way behind. I would have to get. I don't even know what the new one is.
Old bastard, man.
Bastard. And I didn't even play that one that often. The one I played the most was the Wii. I liked Wii Sports. But back in the day when I was in college, I played nothing but Madden football all the time. Me and my buddies, college roommates, we get into some serious, deep John Madden football games.
I know. It was just a guy thing. We love it. We were just competitive, and it's a fun way to be competitive. But, it's like for me, though, it's like you're married, right? Aren't you married?
Well, I was married. I am single, divorced.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. I got a lot to catch you up on now. I'm trying to think.
Sorry for bringing that up.
No.
Man.
It's out there. It's totally fine.
Okay.
But I do have a girlfriend in case she's watching. Hello, Jody. I love you.
Yes. Well, I'm pre-engaged. How about that? And I went on a Zoom call with my girl's family, and I told them my intentions is to ask her to get you from her hand in marriage. But the thing is, I know. Did I just
real?
drop that? Like, so yeah, it is because they do a weekly Zoom call with her grandmother because her grandma's in a living, not assisted
skilled
living,
nursing
but like
facility.
But it's not even it's an independent living.
Right.
Her grandma's got a good head on her shoulders. She's, all there, but, she's at an age where you don't want them being around, so she's lonely. So they do this Zoom call every week where everybody does like a video and, so my girl happened to be at work. And so I took the opportunity to tell her grandmother, her mother, her father, her brother, her uncles and cousins. I was like, hey, this is my intention. And so to get everybody's response. So it was really nerve wracking, but I'm glad I did it. And her grandmother was so excited. Her grandmother called Rachel later and all this. But yeah, so
I mean, she said yes, I guess, or
yes. Everybody was like, yeah, sure, this is great. You're already, and her mother and father called me like, oh, we already consider you're a part of the family now, and I'm like, oh wow, okay,
Dude.
So that's so it's great. But now I'm stuck. Now I'm like pressured. Like, where's the ring? When are you gonna really propose? But the point I was trying to make a roundabout way is to say that like I'm gaming right now, but I actually make money. So like I've monetized my my hobby, which is like why it's, so anytime my girl is like, you play video games, I'm like, but baby, I'm making money. This is how the rent is getting paid, So it's like, I say all that to say to you, like, yeah, you can start gaming again, but remember it can be addictive. It becomes an
Right.
addiction. It becomes like it's I don't know why. I wish I understood the psychological science of it, but
Yeah.
just be aware of that.
Oh, totally. What game are you playing most, and what game would you recommend for me to get back into at the beginner level that I would have to start at?
Man, well, see, this is what's crazy about it. It's the same game. I say for both of these things. It's Call of Duty: Modern Warfare. It's this. It's the what do you call it? Battle Royale type game like Fortnite,
I've
PUBG.
Let me stop you. I played Call of Duty, the first one when it came out, the first 1 and 2. So that was like 10 years ago.
But this Battle Royale element of the game is like, it's just the most addictive form because once again, it's about this community because, you're playing with strangers. You got 150 people who drop into this same area,
right.
And then the circle closes, and it's like, so when you finally get a victory, it is the most thrilling feeling. I remember when I got my first solo victory and I was streaming and I was like, I was just going crazy. And then and so what I think the reason why people watch me is because I'm just bad enough at the game where you're going to be like, come on, Griff, what are you doing? But at the same time, when I actually achieve victory, you feel great for me.
And do people know that they're playing with you? Are these like fans of your comedy?
No. It's just random strangers. But I do play with the fans too, though. I try to most days I'll play. I call them fan squads. I play with the fans. I mean, it's very interactive. But the thing is, people pay to they're subscribers. I got about 420 subscribers, and they pay each month. So it's like it becomes a thing. It becomes a job. And yet, no matter how fun something is, once it becomes like a job. Yes. All of a sudden, the fun, it's like reading for pleasure versus reading for school. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a different feeling, even if it could be the same book. Like if my teacher made me read Harry Potter, I might have been like, oh, I don't really care about this dumbass magic and stuff. But like when I read it on my own, I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest book I've ever read in my life, or whatever. It's just a psychology of it.
100%.
We don't gotta continue to talk. I feel like we've turned it into a gaming podcast, and I want to go with all the stuff because I have something I did want to say to you about something that I just realized in my head that's so significant about our relationship.
All right,
is
let me go back and go ahead. You go first.
Go ahead. No. Go. Because it just popped in my head, and I was like, oh, I got to tell him this.
Well, I don't want you to lose it, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. See, I feel like you know what the problem is. I do a podcast too, and that I'm on your podcast, but because we're doing it like this, all of a sudden it's like, is it my podcast? I don't know. But I'm just gonna say, I've featured as a comedian in my life 3 times.
Wow! Oh, really?
Once for Peter Berman. It was the first time I went out of town. You remember Peter Berman?
The name is familiar. I can't think of the face
he's
right
now.
now.
He's an old school comic, and I went to Morty's in Indianapolis, and it was one of my first times going out of town to do comedy. And I did it. And I remember somebody even wrote an article like that dude Erik Griffin. He was trying to blow him out of the waters and all that kind of stuff. I remember that. I remember that article, and I was like, because I always knew. I said, I didn't want a feature. I never really wanted to do it because I know that psychologically, the club owners, once they consider you a feature, you're always going to be a feature until you somehow try to break through, and it's just hard to break through. So I remember my agent at the time, TJ Mark Walter.
Yeah.
We had the same agent, good old TJ. Are you still with TJ?
No, but I love him. He's the best agent I've ever had, and I know if anything ever goes wrong, he's told me many times, doors always open.
Listen,
he's the best.
I love TJ. Turned me in. TJ made me a headliner. He made me a touring comic. He saw me at Live at Gotham. That the taping of Live at Gotham. His girlfriend at the time was like, that guy's my favorite of the. And he approached me and he turned me into a comic. And he turned me into a touring comic, and even though I wasn't ready. My only knock on TJ is if he had a commercial, the commercial would be, do you want headlining A comics at discount prices?
Remind me to tell you a story after you make...
Everything must go.
Remind me to tell you a story. I pissed him off one time with a prank phone call, but continue your point. I don't want to interrupt.
All right, so then, anyway, one of my first ever gigs was featuring for you at the San Jose Improv.
Yes, that was what I was going to bring up. So we're on the same point. Yeah.
It was at the San Jose Improv, and that was like the first time. And I remember, I was like, I always had the thought like, you got to blow these people out of the water because, because it's like, I need to let everybody, you're always trying to prove yourself. Sure. But I remember like, I wasn't trying to do that with you because you were just such you're a nice dude. Your crowd was a certain type of crowd. Sure. So I even remember being on stage being like, and when it was time for me to be done, I was like, let me throttle this back. I was like, I put it in second gear and be like, but then after that, I knew it was like, after I did that, I was like, TJ, I don't want to do that again. It was the last time.
Wow. Well,
that was the last time. That was the last time. It was the first and last time with him but with TJ that was the only time I did it. The only other time was like Peter Berman. It was what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name? What? Oh my God, I don't know.
What's he look like?
I don't know what. Steve Trevino.
Oh,
Steve
Trevino.
Yeah. He wanted me to go we drove to Texas. Oh. So that was the second thing I never did again. I said, I'm never driving. I'm getting on a plane. I'm not driving to Texas again. That's fucking ridiculous, Right. So I drove to Texas with him and did that. And I was like, ugh, never doing that again. It was you, him, Peter Berman, and that's it. And I just didn't want to do it again.
Well, couple things.
Go ahead.
Number one, congratulations that you only had to feature 3 times. I don't know many headliners that can say they only featured 3 times. That's pretty remarkable because, and it's tough. It's hard to. Number one, today it's totally different than when I started.
It sure is. It's completely different now. It's completely different.
Back in the day, you could feature and not have to know the headliner.
Right.
You could get yourself booked, and you would be known as the feature, but you would grow over time, possibly, maybe back in the day. It's totally different now, but I made no money as a feature, but I toured all over the country just featuring. But what got me to headliner status was colleges. I got my first college agent, and then it was like, well, now I can do as much time as I want. They booked me for at least 45. And I lied and told them I had more than 45. Just like it helped me grow as a comic. As well, because I learned to start doing a little crowd work, because I was just trying to kill time. But I remember the weekend we worked together. It was not easy following. I don't know what you mean you shifted it back a gear. Because
I did, brother. I did.
Well,
I remember specifically. I used to tell people all the time. I said, John Reed, that he's a good dude, and I didn't want to come. I didn't want to be on stage like like okay, you know how you do it. Because I remember doing that when I was featuring for Peter Berman. I was like making sure when I was done, I wanted everybody to know I should be headlining this show. It was just an arrogant kind of like,
Well, we all have that mentality. That's why you don't get in the game to be the opener. I mean, we all want to be the headliner. Even when you're starting out, you want to be the headliner. So I totally get the mentality. But I didn't feel that coming off of you at all. I felt like I enjoyed watching. You're one of the comics I'd sit in the back of the room, and I would watch the clock, not because I'm thinking he better wrap this up, but because shit, it's almost over, and now I gotta go up there.
I appreciate that
because I enjoy watching you.
But listen, what I learned. But this is the thing, though, that I learned about. One thing I realized about that weekend, too, and it's something I've thought about even after, and I try to tell other comics, it's like, it doesn't matter who, like, I don't care how funny you are as the feature. It doesn't matter. Because even if someone would have came up to me and been like, and this has happened to you when you featured it, it always happens when people go, oh man, you were so much funnier than a headliner, or like when people say that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter because you know what? They still came to see you. They came to see John Reap. So even if I was killer, you know what people will say? Man, when I went to go see John Reap, that opener was funny. That's all they're going to say.
Yeah.
Your name's still going to be in it. And so what I learned about it is like, it's a business. It's like that feature spot is so cushy. It's like they don't got the drinks. They just got the drinks. They're finally starting to feel whatever they're feeling. It's a great time in the show. The MC set it up, and now you have this cushy time. There's no responsibility. You know, no one cares. You know, all the pressure is on the headliner to like make sure it's a good show, to make sure that there's no, you know, I mean, it's like it's so much more business side of it and so much more into it than just thinking about who's the funniest, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And it was a great weekend, but I do remember it not being the easiest gig I've done, because that's California, that's Northern California. I'm Mr. Cornbread white guy from the South, so it was still not one of the easiest gigs I did. And it's a big ass room, that improv.
Big ass room, dude,
and if you don't feel it, it looks bad.
It's sad.
So I didn't sell out by any means, but I do remember I had a brand new T-shirt that I was all excited to sell, and I was like in the green room trying to organize all these sizes and shit. And it was. I haven't done. Just so you know, I haven't done that room since that time.
You know what's funny is I've only done that room a couple times, even myself headlining since then, because it's just. But the problem is the comedy business is so skewed. You know, I think what we're learning right now during this pandemic is like, I think that the power dynamic is shifted back to the talent, because these are just empty buildings now.
Right.
They are empty buildings that no one cares about.
Yes.
You know, but they've made it out like this is the end all be all. No. We are the end all be all.
Yeah.
The talent that comes in there that fills it with the jokes and the humor and the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
we're
that's the reason
ones
why
that
people show up.
It's the reason why people show up. Because, like, okay, so open your building right now and see if somebody's going to show up just to go get a vodka Coke.
Right.
You know, they're going to do that. No, they're better bars. You know what I mean?
Better food.
So it's like, and so I feel like right now, I don't know what's going to happen if the world finally gets back to normal, how this is going to go, because we're all finding ways with different side hustles. Like, for me, the side hustle is my gaming, and I've done some gaming shows. Like, I just did this Twitch thing with T-Pain. You know what I mean?
No shit.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was just crazy. So because of I've shifted into this, I'm getting opportunities. So what I'm saying is, it's like, you know, it's like the business is it's going to be so different. Like, what's it going to look like? You know,
it's crazy. Have you done any stand up anywhere since March or February?
I have. My last stand up was in March. And the reason why I remember it is because it was my birthday. March 12th was my birthday, and I was at Chattanooga. I was in
the Comedy Catch.
At the Comedy Catch. Love the guy that owns the Comedy Catch. Really great
Alfano,
dude.
yeah.
But the club, it was a little bit of a nightmare, you know, this disease, we're starting to really be scared about coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
And you're staying in this comedy condo, and there's a sign that says, "Please wash your own dishes." I was like, "Fuck you, I'm out." So I went in. It's like, I'm not gonna be. You know how comics are. We're not washing dishes properly. So so I went. I you know, you stay in the hotel's right there. So I checked myself into the hotel, paid for it myself, and I was like, well, that's that, you know, because I just wanted to get this done with. And then March 12th, my birthday, and then everything went crazy. You know, my other friends are hitting me up like, I'm going home. I canceled my shows, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? So, you know, it's like. You know, it's like that. So then, like,
so you did that gig. That was March, right before your birthday.
Yeah. So the next time I did another gig was actually recently, about 3 weeks ago. Do you know Matt Rife, the comic Matt Rife?
Yeah. I worked with him in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Just, you know, cute young kid. You know what I mean? Too muscly. Mm-hmm.
It's like if a good-looking Justin Bieber tried to do some stand-up, you know.
Yeah, so it's really infuriating, but I love the guy. I've known him since he was 14.
Same here.
Yeah, but he still infuriates me. So he had a show. He put on an outdoor show in the back of his apartment building. You know, he had like the chairs 6 feet apart and all this stuff, and the audience had masks on, and there was like a pickup truck, and it was terrible, right? But it was so great at the same time, right? You know, it was terrible and great at the same time. Like, it was terrible in the sense that if there was no pandemic and I invited you to this show, you would spit in my face. That's how, you know what I mean? But because we're living in the world we're living in, it was just like, so it was really cathartic. And I was like, oh my God, I'm on stage again. And it was such a great feeling. And I'm about to do another show. I don't know when this is coming out, but next week, Wednesday, I'm doing a show at a rooftop bar in Anaheim.
Oh, that's pretty cool. In case there's people listening who don't know Erik Griffin. I mean, this guy's had an amazing career. You've seen him on Comedy Central, Showtime, Workaholics. And I remember when we worked together that one time in San Jose, and then just sitting back and just watching you, I'm like, dude, congratulations to this guy. You deserve everything that's been going on.
Well,
And don't you have a new Showtime thing that's about to come out or has just come out?
No. We got I just got some movies coming out now.
Oh, okay.
I was in this Netflix movie called The Sleepover. That's about to come out. I did a Pauly Shore movie. I know. I know everyone. But
Hey, look, put that on the resume, dude. That's
called
a bucket
Guest
list
House.
thing.
It's one of those ones that I thought, this won't come out, but it's actually coming out. I'm just kidding. I love you, Pauly. I'm only kidding. It was fun to work. He's actually a really fun dude. He's actually a really cool dude.
I love him. I
Paul,
just texted him. He said
he's misunderstood. He's a misunderstood dude.
He moved to Nevada, right? That's what. He
was in Hawaii. Now he's in Nevada. He's just like a nomad,
Yeah.
So that movie's coming out, and I did this other movie, and then I'm like I said, I'm doing the Twitch thing, and it's it's.
Do you miss the Comedy Store?
Oh, very much. I just miss doing comedy. I miss that being an integral part of my life. I miss that, that release, that outlet of creative juices that, the neurons in your head that, make you crazy when you don't get that out.
Yes.
I miss that outlet. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to focus all that into this podcast. I know you got Riffin' with Griffin as well.
Yeah, but the podcast, I find myself being frustrated with doing my podcast because the whole point of doing the podcast was to support my comedy career.
Right.
And so now I'm just like, well, why am I doing it? Like, what am I supporting now? So I had to refocus.
Yeah.
And then it got too serious. Like, I feel like my last 5 or 6 episodes have just been like, because it's like George Floyd and then the Chris D'Elia stuff and then all this stuff,
that's right.
all this stuff that happened that you feel obligated to talk about has just bogged my podcast down. It was just political talk and it's like race relations
right.
and I'm like, oh man, what can I just talk about movies or
you can? But it's that's the great. Aaron, you can do what you want.
I know this now, but but even as a comic, when major things are happening, we find ourselves going to the stage and being like,
right. You feel like it's
jokes.
the elephant in the room, and you have to. Everyone's waiting to hear what I think about it.
Right. We think that, but it's more so on a podcast too.
Yeah,
podcast,
totally.
People are just like, so I don't know. So I just last episode, it was like more 50-50.
Yeah.
I had more fun. I had Zainab Johnson on my podcast.
Well, you were making me laugh because I follow you on Instagram and Facebook, and I like how I think you just inserted yourself as a guest on other people's podcasts.
Yeah. I was doing my green screen. I have to do that again. I stopped doing it, but it's like I really loved doing that.
I got so mad at myself for not thinking of that idea because I've been trying to get Theo. I've been trying to get Cheeto and Theo, both of those guys. But I just had Foxworthy, speaking of legendary mustaches, 2 great mustaches.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting people to do it is hard enough. So I thought it was genius when I saw you just put your own body in between 2 people who were talking. You're just kind of like this.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You just say things, I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like, I don't want to be too cheesy with it. Like a couple times, I really should do more of it. Like I want to put my like when they were doing these daily coronavirus things,
right?
I wanted to be standing there. I might do it again. I have to do it again. It's just a lot of work. I'm by myself. You got a producer there helping you right now.
Yeah, no, I got lucky.
Nothing. It's just I'm a one-man show.
Right.
Well,
it
so
looked
just
great.
Becomes a lot. It just becomes a lot of work, and I just, between that and trying to game to pay the bills and all this kind of stuff, it just becomes a lot. But I got to remember to do those fun things too. So
I have an idea that maybe
up.
me and you could do this together because I'm talking about it out loud with you, and you're the only comedian that knows about this. As soon as I tell you, you used to make prank phone calls back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
That's been done. That's been done many times. But with the technology now, there's a way to make prank Zoom calls. And what you do is you get 2 people that don't like each other, and you tell them, hey, let's me and you Zoom. And don't tell the other one that the other one's going to be there. And they just pop up on the same screen and you just hit record.
Well, that might last like 10 seconds, and it might be a lot of beeping if it was supposed to be PG-13. You know?
No, I'm just saying.
Like, you know what you talk about? You know what this is? This is Parent Trap.
No, but like if we combine our powers, I know a lot of comedians. You know a lot of comedians. We probably know some comedians that don't like each other. But if I told them, like, no, it's just going to be me and you for my podcast, and then all of a sudden they pop up on the same screen, I mean, that might be a good show.
Maybe if I wasn't in a beef with a few comedians myself, and I'm thinking about it right now, that if they popped up on the screen, I would not appreciate it. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I totally get it. I know, here he is now. It's like Jerry Springer. Like, now that you mentioned such and such, come on out. I mean, right. I don't know if I would like that, but I would like it on the other end.
Sure, if you're watching it at home, I'm
watching it, but I'm thinking about it right now, like, ugh, that would not be good.
Yeah, I would not like it either. I'm not confrontational at all. But yeah, so look, we got to wrap this up, brother. What?
Oh wow, that was quick. Yeah,
I know. I do segments on my podcast.
I get you. So you got like another? Yeah, I get it.
Well, I got another comedian that's going to be zooming in here in a second. Henry Cho. You remember Henry Cho?
Oh yeah, how is Henry?
Yeah, I'm about to find out. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but he's hilarious, man. But yeah, so I got both you guys today, and I do segments on mine where I got like one of my favorite segments is I get a residual check in the mail, and I make my friends guess it, and we play how much is that residual check. Oh wait, I just got an email from Henry. He wants to delay it. Did you get that, Alan?
I just saw.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
But why don't you get the direct deposit, man, from your residual checks now? You know it's direct deposit through SAG-AFTRA.
I don't know. I like getting the checks. I think,
by
the way, listen,
you old school country bumpkin.
This is true, but I don't. I mean, what do I need? 15 cents going directly into my account. You know, I'm gonna make them mail it.
Yeah, so you're gonna make them spend 30-something cents.
Yes.
You know, so they losing money sending you that 15 cents.
This is true. I like playing the game though, because what I do is I get my friends in here. I go, here's an envelope. It's not open. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. I'll open it. I'll tell you what it's from, and whoever gets the closest wins the game. And if they get it right on, which no one does, I give them the check. And you know, sometimes they're 35 cents, and sometimes they're like $3,500. You know, it depends on what.
So
what
somebody
it is.
Gotten a $3,500 check, but yet.
No one ever gets the amount exactly right. That will never happen.
Thankfully for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
That'd actually be a good prank on you. Your producer, like, secretly opens the check, it sees how much it is, and then it's a big check, and then the guest guesses it. Is it $3,513? And you'll be like,
So Alan, I mean, we just talked about this very thing because my buddy Kyle Davis, he's an actor. He was a guy that played Little Kev, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the white rapper who was like messed up when he wasn't rapping. We did some stuff together, but anyway, I had him on the show. He had a residual check, and we were in the same movie. He goes, so we're going to get the same amount. And Alan was listening to this, and I know I'm getting that same check, although I think my taxes are different because I'm a corporation and he was an individual. So yes, don't try and cheat, Alan.
I'm not making notes here or anything. Yeah. So yeah.
You know what's funny? You know, I have a story about a residual check. Then we can go.
Please do.
You know how you get that? This is when I was getting envelopes. One of them, I got sent the wrong envelope. You know, and it said Kevin Hart. You know, and
wait, Kevin Hart and not Eddie Griffin?
I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. It must have been just an accident. You know, whatever they put. You know, so I had to open it. Because I wanted to see if it was like, you know, oh my God, it must be, I wonder if this is like a $50,000 or like, is this some huge check? It was like 13 cents.
Wow. Did you know him at the time?
No, I didn't even know him or anything. I just tore the shit up, threw it away. Cause I'm sure, because you know, I'm sure like I think they put it in a fund and they end up sending it. I don't know if I handled that wrong or if I just admitted to mail fraud or I don't know. But I just was like, oh man, is this going to be a huge check? Because if it was really big, I obviously would have just called SAG and been like, I think you made a mistake.
Wow, what are the odds that you got Kevin of all people?
Of all people, right? It was
Another
crazy,
comedian, and he's and he's like successful. And
super
right.
successful.
That could have been a
you
huge
think this is gonna be, but it was like it's so funny. And let me know that like, oh, this is happening to everybody.
Dude,
a lot of people are getting bullshit residual checks.
I know a new game we could play. Like when I come back to LA and we get comedians together again at the All Things Comedy Studio, maybe we do this like a round table thing. Everyone bring a residual check not opened and just slide it over one. And just
well, I don't get them anymore, man, because I'm getting them direct deposit like a person that lives in the 20th century.
Right. Well, we'll find some other old school people. Maybe I can get Foxworthy to play it with me.
I mean, yeah. You got your money in a shoebox underneath your bed, or is it out in a barn? Like,
yes. Actually, it's at I use a bank that just got bought out by another bank. So I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, you go to some bank, it's like, Johnson and Sons Bank. It's like one of those type of banks. It's been there. It's been in the town for 135 years.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, listen, what else? What do you want to plug? What else you want to plug?
You got
your movies coming out.
I think I've pretty much plugged everything. If you want to you could check me out at erikgriffin.com. That's with a K, ERIK, Griffin.com. And like I say, I'm gaming every day on Twitch. I'm going to go on Twitch after I finish with this with you. So you can see me on Erik Griffin Gaming. And I put those videos also up on YouTube, which is Erik Griffin Gaming. And then my podcast, Riffin with Griffin, which is Erik Griffin Comedy on YouTube. But you can find all this stuff on my website, erikgriffin.com.
And on that note, one more time, Erik Griffin, everybody.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Good to see you, man.
You too.
Be well.
Take another look and tell me that.
Oh, man, I always love talking to Erik Griffin. Thank you, Erik, for doing that. And like you said, if you want to play a video game with Erik or watch him play, he's a gamer. You could go to Twitch TV or his YouTube channel and follow Erik Griffin Gaming. All right, moving on. It's been a minute since we've done this segment because you've been gone, and I saved this for you. But, like I've said in other episodes, the news is dominated with a lot of negative current events, and it's hard to find brand new, crazy, weird, small-town news stories. Everything's about protesting or pandemics. So I've just found them at my leisure, and I found one. It's pretty funny. What's this? That one's good.
We're just small town dudes with small town news, breaking stories of crimes committed you never do. Mind your P's and Q's or they'll cover you. The town may be small, but the news is huge.
Alrighty. I'm going to read this headline to you.
Okay.
And we're just going to watch this, and then we'll pause and comment. That's what we do. We read the headline, and we pause. This one's out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Ooh. You know that? You know what that is?
No, I've never been to Texas, but I'm dying to go.
It's a military town. It's like it borders. It's right on the water, I believe, Corpus Christi. I've been there one time, did a show for the troops. But here is the headline. Texas judge who says he runs a redneck court is ordered to take a racial sensitivity course. Wow. Okay. So Alan can. Why don't we just watch it? And if you want Alan to pause it and talk,
okay.
You have that. You have that power.
Have that button.
Yeah. All right. Shall we? Let's watch this.
Justice of the Peace is in trouble with the agency
Hold on,
in charge of investigating.
All right out the gate.
Hold on.
Okay. Justice of the Peace. First of all, that's the craziest judge office I've ever seen in my life. How many livestock? Well, not live, but how many dead animals were hanging on the wall? Did you see?
I think. Can we guess? Can we make a guess before we look at it?
I'm
three.
Yeah, I think three.
No, one.
There's two.
There's one behind it, isn't it? Is it another one?
We definitely see two deer heads.
There's a deer, but there's a moose or something back there, isn't it?
Right.
Hiding.
Yeah, he's got. It looks like the cinder block office.
Yeah. How'd he get them?
He loves Green Bay. I see Green Bay stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
But this is Corpus Christi.
Look at there. Is that a Lone Ranger? Did you have that? Is that a Lone Ranger, the original?
Maybe. I can't tell from this distance. But
Interesting office.
Let's see. He's a justice of the peace. Is that the same thing as a judge?
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be the same.
I didn't know if those are two separate things. Alan, do you have any idea? Okay. All right. Sorry. Right out the gate, we got distracted.
Sorry. I got distracted
It's
on
not
all
often
these animals.
You see a judge with, this is a redneck judge. He's self-proclaimed, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yes.
Wow.
Is in trouble with the agency in charge of investigating judges.
And it has to do with something that he says in court. Thanks for joining us. The case we're just mentioning now comes down to whether or not the term redneck is offensive.
That's right. The commission
Pause it.
Yeah.
This is highly debatable.
This is highly debatable.
Is the term redneck offensive? Now,
well, first of all, I'd like to ask you what the definition of a redneck is.
This is why you can't really say it is or isn't, because there's not a clear definition of what a redneck is. There might be some urban dictionary or someone's probably written something about it, but I think everyone has a different idea of what they think it means.
Okay, so you think it's a personal definition of?
Well, I think that's what other people have done. Like, if someone says, well, what's the difference between a hillbilly and a redneck? What's the difference between a country bumpkin and a redneck? There many people have these different ideas and theories, and I don't know. I don't know what's correct. But what do you think? What do you think a redneck is, and is it offensive?
Well, you would say typically from the South, but we both know that's untrue.
Right.
Okay, that's where you get that in your mind from the South. We know that's untrue because
they're all because I've been everywhere.
Right.
And all you got to do is go 20 miles outside of any city. And they're rednecks.
They're rednecks there.
Right. Well, okay, let's back up.
Okay.
The term redneck comes from working outdoors in the fields and having to bend over and your neck getting burnt from the sun, thus the red neck.
Right.
Okay, so that's literally
traditional manual labor is what you're saying. It's really classified as that's where it came from.
Yeah, if you think of the color red, and the word neck, and you put those two together, that's why.
Yeah.
But what do you agree? Disagree?
I agree with that.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
But I think it's morphed into many other things.
Right.
Like what you're, if you have a mullet or not.
Right.
You could be a redneck.
I used to claim that a mullet would disqualify you from being a redneck because it would prevent the sun from hitting your neck.
God, now you're a sophisticated
Right. I thought too deep about this. As a redneck comedian, I've gotten this my whole life. I wish Jeff Foxworthy were here right now to talk about this.
Ironic you just talked to him, and now we probably should have got his 750 definitions.
But is it racist? Is it offensive? No, she said offensive. Now, I don't think it's offensive because maybe I am. But if I were like another minority and I was surrounded by people and they kept saying redneck a bunch, I might be uncomfortable. I don't know. Because I'm not sure what people I don't know. I don't know because I'm this. I have no idea what it's like to be
I think we could be
else.
having this conversation, and especially in this climate.
Yeah.
And you could say exactly
make a case for either one.
You can make a case for it. I mean, we just took the Redskins logo off, right?
That's right.
So now, should we get rid of redneck songs?
Anything with the word redneck in it now
yes,
it's got to go.
It's got to go.
Oh my gosh, it's getting crazy.
But we would all
that's
say
the question of the news story.
Yes.
Is the word redneck offensive? For me, I say no. But let's see what happens.
Official conduct says that it is, and recently ruled against a judge. Chris 6 News reporter Greg Chandler met the man at the center of the controversy. Greg, did the judge call someone a redneck?
No, Steph. We're talking about Claiborne County Justice of the Peace Chris Lee. And he used to start every...
Chris Lee?
You think it's Robert E. Lee's great-great-great-grandson?
See, now if I were a minority and I was in that courtroom and he said, yeah, this is a redneck courtroom and my last name is Lee, now I might be a little bit worried. Huh? Huh?
Possible.
Did you catch that? He said, the judge goes, this is a redneck courtroom. I don't know what that means. That's fine. Let's keep going.
By declaring his courtroom a redneck court. Judge Lee didn't let me shoot video of inside his courtroom, but I saw it. It has mounted deer heads and skins on the wall. He also says he never thought.
Wait, pause it. In the courtroom. Not just his
Nice
office. That's just the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
Well, it's heads and skins.
Skins.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This guy, I mean, how do you have the time? If you're a judge, if you're a justice of the peace, I just assume those guys are working all the time. I don't know how you have time.
You haven't been to court lately, have you?
I guess not.
If
No.
you go as much as me, you probably realize that they show up at 10 o'clock. They leave at 3.
Okay.
You got plenty of time to
They
go
got- all
hunting
right.
some stuff in the morning, early or late.
Well, there you go. Maybe they should be working harder on
They should get
the
some more
law.
cases through.
More cases through.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So this is great. So it's in the courtroom too.
Which I would love to see.
And
a
they
picture.
couldn't.
You
They
can see a
couldn't
good
shoot
film.
video in there. Oh man.
God, I'd love
now
to
I'm
see
dying
that.
to know.
Yeah. Do you think it's a bear rug hanging from the?
Right. Yeah. Like the bailiff is like a bear. What a bear suit.
or maybe when you go up and get in the box and you have to be sworn in. Maybe it's got a like a nice fur you can sit down on.
Yeah. There's all kinds. There's like eagles. It's like, gosh. And he's wearing the cowboy hat, which is great. That's Texas.
That's
they
Texas.
all do that. That's a Ranger thing, and so why not? But all right, shit. Let's keep going.
That would ever get him in trouble.
Chris Lee is just a good old country boy that don't mind getting his hands dirty, and we're going to get the job done, whatever the job may be.
Chris Lee also considers himself a redneck.
Wait, pause it.
And
Is Chris Lee talking about himself in the third person?
Chris Lee loves Chris Lee. And that's what Chris
Because that
Lee
was
is.
confusing. I'm like, was he talking about somebody else? Oh, no. Oh, he's talking about
He's
himself.
Chris Lee, yeah.
Oh, Chris Lee.
We need to start doing that more often. We
John
need
Reed. Yeah. Judge Chris Lee. All right. Alan, can you? I like how sometimes you back it up like 5 seconds when you restart it. Let me go back just a little bit because we talked over some stuff. Okay, let's continue.
Whatever the job may be.
Chris Lee also considers himself a redneck, and the Clayburgh County Justice of the Peace regularly referred to his courtroom as a redneck court, until one day in 2016 when a Hispanic man appearing in Lee's court took offense.
Evidently, the word redneck offended him, which, in my opinion, is not an offensive term. I apologize for offending anybody with the term redneck.
The man, Jesus Espinoza, complained to the Commission on Judicial Conduct. The Commission sided with Espinoza, ruling Judge Lee failed to be patient, dignified, and courteous to Espinoza. The Commission ordered Judge Lee to undergo 4 hours of sensitivity training, which the judge says he will comply with.
Pause
he
it.
also said,
Okay. Now let's think about this.
Okay.
As a Hispanic guy,
Yeah.
walking into a self-proclaimed redneck courtroom, and other people are saying redneck a bunch to each other. Like, I'm trying to put myself in that guy's shoes, right? What if, as a white guy, right, I walk into a self-proclaimed brother, African-American courtroom or whatever, black courtroom,
Yeah.
and it's all black people, and they're throwing the N-word around at each other. And I might feel a little like, you can make a case that it might make you uncomfortable, but I wouldn't say offensive. I would say that guy has a case for feeling uncomfortable, but not offended, because they're not talking about him.
Yeah.
They're talking about each other. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah. Once again, let me go back to my courthouse days.
Please. I love this.
I've been to courthouse in a few places.
He's a man of mystery, and sometimes he'll let you in.
And I get offended by the guards.
The guards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why is
Black,
this?
white, Hispanic, doesn't matter.
Okay.
They all have an attitude.
Right.
Sit here, shut up, don't say a word.
Right.
Don't move. Don't have your cell phone out. If your cell phone's out, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to get rid of you. You
Okay.
do what I say, when I say, how I say. Now, here's why I have a problem with that, because you are a paid servant for my tax dollars.
Right.
I'm
Right.
in Florida, Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't like to be treated like a child
Yeah.
for something as simple as, okay, criminal, maybe it's a different ball game. You got people walking in.
They're
who
not
have
proven
never-
guilty yet.
They're not proven guilty, first of all.
Right.
And you people who are old people who've never been to court, people it's the first time, they don't know where to go, what to do. They stand up to ask a question, and they get reprimanded like a little child.
Right. Yeah, that offends you.
That offends me much more than you saying this is a redneck court.
Right.
No, that's just me.
Right. Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've not even been in many courtrooms.
I know
Can
you
believe
little.
this?
Oh, man.
And my dad was a bailiff.
Of course, you couldn't get in trouble because there he knew everybody.
I visited on off hours. I mean, I know judges.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to put myself in that guy's shoes as a minority. He's Hispanic. Right. But then again, Corpus Christi is not.
No,
that's a lot of Hispanic people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I don't know how he's offended by the term. But they did go on to say, like, the judge was rude or something else. Alan, you might want to back it up another 20 seconds because I want to see that thing again. Let's watch this again. All right, here we go. Let's get to the bottom of this damn thing.
Redneck.
The man, Jesus Espinoza, complained to the Commission on Judicial Conduct. The Commission sided with Espinoza, ruling Judge Lee failed to be patient, dignified, and courteous to Espinoza. The Commission ordered Judge Lee to undergo 4 hours of sensitivity training, which the judge says he will comply
Okay, now
with.
pause it. So that really it just says he wasn't courteous, patient, or like professional.
Has Mr. Espinosa been to Walmart?
That's interesting. Do judges have to be patient,
I don't know
courteous?
that they have to be.
That's interesting. But I love that he's having to go as a judge, having to go to sensitivity training. Yeah. Oh man, I wonder if they're like animals in there.
Like a super sensitive guy.
Like, what if there's a bunch of deer? Like, like you shot my mom, dude.
Yeah,
yeah. I need some
you think he's at the
sensitivity.
petting zoo? He's got to go to a petting zoo and
right,
be nice to all the deer. Apologize.
Gosh, I bet he hated going to that sensitivity training. Okay, I'm sorry, Alan. This is just, there's so many angles I could go off on him. Do you have anything you want to chime in with?
No. You guys are doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Alan, don't stay out of this one. No.
Yeah, I'm just here in the engineer booth. I'm going to stay out of this one.
Alan don't want any comments. He don't want.
I'm
As
redneck.
They'll never call his courtroom a redneck court again.
It will never come out of my mouth in that courtroom again, I promise.
People in Rivera use words like excellent and great to describe Judge Lee, a volunteer firefighter and heavily involved in livestock.
Okay, there's a grand champion.
He's a grand champion Wilbur.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with this. It's everywhere. I mean, I guess
fair.
he's using the word redneck as a country boy.
Yeah.
Like I'm a farmer, hunting type of dude.
That's his deal.
And that's what he's trying to say. I mean, here he is, a picture of him, and there's the news
What does
story
the
just had a
sign
shot
say right
of
there?
My
My father gave me
the greatest gift anyone could give another person.
That's Jim.
Believed in me, Jimmy V.
Hey, we got a connection there.
All right.
He's got an NC State guy.
Now I'm
there,
starting
dude.
to like me some
Oh yeah,
Judge
now you
Chris
flipped
Lee.
around, didn't you? Who's sensitive now?
Right. Well, Jimmy V had a hot temper too.
Well,
His
yeah.
Italian blood, he get pissed off easy.
Yeah.
I was also very loving. That's interesting. And there's a picture of probably his daughter right there. But yeah, I like how the news story just random shot, B-roll shot of the deer close up.
Had a couple extra
and then
shots.
the shot of the Grand Champion Market Swine 2011. Yeah, that's fine. People do this. There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
I'm not offended by any of this. No. I mean, I don't do it. I enjoy bacon. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not offended by it. I would say I'm not a fan of it, but I ain't offended. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue.
Excellent and great to describe Judge Lee, a volunteer firefighter and heavily involved in livestock shows. Judge Lee says his work ethic is part of why he's proud to call himself a redneck.
A redneck is somebody that works hard. They most of the time live in the country, whether it be the deep south or the north, it doesn't really matter.
Correct.
I also spoke with Darla Gandy. She was Espinoza's landlady. She sued Espinoza for breaking his lease. That's how they ended up in court. She says that Espinoza, who is a Child Protective Services officer as well as a Texas peace officer, wore his gun to court. Judge Lee asked Espinoza to remove the gun, which led to an argument. I also spoke briefly with Espinoza
Now
today.
we have all
He
the
declined my
answers.
request
This
for
is
interview,
this
though.
is an inside
Thank
baseball.
good for good journalism, though. Most of the time we get one side of the story.
Yeah. Good job, Greg Chandler of KRIS TV. Yeah, so at the end we discover that these guys have probably a history.
Yeah.
Like this guy's in law enforcement, right? That's what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's I forgot what he said, but he had his
officer.
pistol. He's a peace officer. Yeah, he's a peace officer. He had a piece. He was carrying his piece. And judge said you can't do it, and they had some exchange of words. So that's what this is. This is an argument. And the peace officer, Espinoza, is smart enough to make it like a thing bigger than it was. Right?
Yeah.
Because now he had to go to sensitivity training because he knew what buzzwords. He made like a hate crime, and it wasn't even
He made
that.
it thought it was like a racist remark.
Right. Exactly.
Which we have to be careful with racist. I mean,
Yeah.
claiming something's racist. It's about like claiming rape sometimes, you know. People get in trouble.
Yeah, totally.
And for those people that really have that issue, it's...
I read something else. Let me read this to you. A Texas judge declares himself redneck court. So you had to take the sensitivity training. But I read this on a separate little news article because I like typing in the headline and seeing what else was written about it. So he goes like this. Judge Lee told the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, to him, redneck means a small town country boy who works hard from sun up till sundown in order to get the job done. Well, that would make sense with the redneck and country working out and working hard. That, to me, is what it literally means. And then they go on to write, it didn't help his argument that he provided a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of the term to the commission. The definition reads, a white person who lives in a small town or in the country, especially in the southern U.S., who typically has a working class job and who is seen by others as being uneducated and having opinions and attitudes that are offensive. When did that make it into the dictionary, and who wrote that?
Where's Merriam-Webster at?
I want to look up who Merriam. Yeah, I just know Webster. I don't know this Merriam person. When did Merriam and Webster hook up? You know, so that's interesting to me. I'd like to find out more about this. Lee told the Times this week that he didn't call anyone a redneck except for himself, and it's not derogatory. It only means that you know how to work. So it's interesting that they said it is offensive, but I don't think that's what he was. I don't think that's why he went to sensitivity training. I think he went there because of the other reasons where he was rude and not polite. That's interesting. Any final thoughts before we move on?
They slapped his hand. They didn't want to get in the middle of a controversy and let it slide.
Yeah.
But I think you ought to say redneck from now on if you're going to be a redneck.
Yeah. If someone called you a redneck, would you be offended?
Probably. I'd be like, this is Ralph Lauren. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't. If I were you, I wouldn't be offended because it's not obviously not at all you.
No, I'm not offended
It's
by
like
that.
the things that offend me the
most.
most are the ones that have a little bit of truth in them. You know what I mean? Like if someone said, "Oh, if they called me like a ugly redheaded freckled face," you know what I mean? Because I'm like, well, there's some truth in there. I am that.
Yeah, I got you on that.
But if someone calls you something so far off that you're not that it can't really offend you because it's like, well, you're just making up crap.
Yeah.
So I would, if I were you. Now, if someone called me a redneck, I'd be like, well, sure, have been known to do redneck things. I wouldn't say I am a redneck. In fact, I went on Comedy Central. I did that whole video about how I'm not real.
I did a redneck quiz before I got here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, just to see if I was a redneck, and I kind of did the one for you. It's long, but I just to see if you was a redneck, and you came up really low on the redneck chart.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I know what you probably pick. Like, I know you don't.
Can you give me some examples?
Like, have you ever caught a fish? Have you?
No,
do you have a pair of overalls?
Well, that I do.
Yeah. Do you, put that on there. What are you doing
do you hunt?
With your friends after whatever? Is
Right.
it like hunting, fishing, going to a bar and talking?
Right. I don't do
stuff
many
like that.
outdoorsy country
Yeah.
stuff. My son and my brother's son are way more country than us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jason just works out and goes to work. I try to do comedy and podcast. I read letters. This is a country, Russia. This is what I do. I read letters from Russia in my high school yearbook.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Alan, any final thoughts? We good?
No, I think you guys have covered the topic
All right.
properly.
Well, let me tell you, sometimes the town might be small, but the news is huge. All right. Sebastian, did we have a good time?
We had a
here
good
today?
time, man. I'm glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Are you allowed back in Applebee's? Are we allowed to talk about this? I know it came up in the beginning. You're anti-mask, which is fine. A lot of people are. You can't breathe. We've talked about it before.
Yeah,
on the
I'm
podcast.
anti.
It's okay.
I will do it. Like I work, and people are paying me.
Yeah.
And they're old, so I respect that.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it there.
Right.
But the problem I have with the restaurants is that I'm
Gonna
there
put
at the
food
hostess,
in your mouth.
and we're all taking them off.
Right.
When we get in there to sit down, and I'm 6 feet away from where I'm going, and you want me to put it on and walk 6 feet,
Only to
over
take it
to
off
back
again.
off.
Yeah. Right. Now, is that what happened?
That's the second or third time that they've, normally I just let it go, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Just walk in.
and she said she knew me, and they know me.
That's what's killing me. Is like that is your neighborhood bar and grill.
I go there because I normally like the people there.
Yeah.
I don't
And
really
you
care for
work from your laptop. You
I
go
work.
anywhere?
I do some work there, and I'm doing that stuff. But as I was walking through, she said, "You got a mask?" I said, "Yeah, it's in my pocket."
Right.
That's a smart ass remark, I wess.
But
as I
probably
went on
factual.
by, I'm 2 feet away right now from the place.
As the
She said,
sentence
"You
is
have to
over,
have one.
I'm at the bar.
Are you gonna?" And I'm like, "Here's my issue. You got 5 people sitting at the bar because you've turned all the chairs up.
Yeah.
You have nobody in the restaurant. You're never making a profit. You should just shut it all down."
Right.
As a business side comes out of me, you should shut this down. Forget it.
See,
if you're going to go this way,
Right.
forget it.
You're trying to educate them.
Your
how to-
service is already horrible. You never have anything.
Right.
You never have my green beans.
Right.
Then I'll order Corona, and you don't have that. It's becoming, So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give you Applebee's back. You can have it back.
You can
and
have
good luck. And if it comes up for sale anytime soon, I'll come back by.
Interesting.
And
So
that's not the
you left.
I left. They were mad, and and I was threatened before to get thrown out, but I'm like, I'll just leave then.
Wow. I couldn't imagine anyone trying to argue with you. You're like 8 feet, 3 inches tall.
And then I drive right out, and I'm like, okay, I'll leave and go to Kickback Jack's.
Right.
In that circumstance, you have to walk. If you're going to go to the outside bar, you know how it is. You have to walk all the way through the restaurant
To go
and
outside.
get to the outside bar.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I walk in there. Where you want to go? How about the outside bar? Well, come right on.
No, like put your mask on right away.
No mask,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
issues, no problems. So
That's
then when I'm
crazy.
sitting down there, I'm even more angry at Applebee's.
Right.
Because they have a full crowd.
And I
all
know,
of it's actually good.
yeah, I know how you are, dude. You don't like getting ID'd. You don't like.
Don't I?
I'd like to see it. I wish I was there to watch.
Don't ID me.
I
Why?
mean, come on, I'm here every weekend.
You know me.
What are you doing?
We drink together the other night, girl.
Listen,
Why are you IDing me?
Look at me, Applebee's. Look at me,
You lost it.
Applebee's of Hickory. Sebastian, we're talking about. He can't get sick. Therefore, he can't get you sick. Just let the man in, have his Coronas, green beans for crying out
I
loud.
want the green beans, man.
Okay.
So I have a list of places I can.
Well, I know we talked about it briefly at the beginning of the show and forgot to get there. All right, look, let's wrap this puppy up, man. Merchandise, go to johnreap.com. All right. Tour dates, don't worry about them. My next one's in August, but who knows? It'll probably get canceled. Still doing cameos, still doing TikToks. You can still watch my Ginger Beard Man comedy special on Amazon Prime. You can still listen to my comedy albums and my stand-up on my YouTube channel.
Did the cruise get extended? I thought that
it's
special.
The deal.
I read that, right? The deal
Yeah.
was still on.
If you want to go on the John Reap cruise, Click on Reap's Peeps at johnreap.com and get the information. That deal has been extended to August 31st. You're going to get the best rate. Book it now. You can cancel anytime. You know, you got plenty of time. But to lock it down would be smart. And, yeah, you can get these ginger beard masks at my website. Alan, what am I forgetting? Is that everything?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we're good. For the Alan Jackson, for Sebastian, I am John Reap. Bicycle.
Well, life on the farm is kind of laid back, but I wouldn't know that I'm from a cul-de-sac. Don't chew tobacco and I don't smoke crack. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, a simple kind of life, never did me no harm, but I do know a guy with only one arm. Keep your fancy smartphones and your self-parked cars. Thank God I'm country-ish. Well, I got a podcast that'll make you giggle. It ain't number one, it's right in the middle. My town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for country-ish. Go on, dude. I'd make a new show every day if I could, but my friends have jobs and they pay pretty good. Record when we can, work when we should. It's time for country-ish. Well, I don't care what your skin looks like, just love everybody and we'll be alright. Listen to the show every Friday night. It's time for country-ish. Well, I got a podcast that'll make you giggle. It ain't number one, it's right in the middle. My town's not big, but it ain't too little. It's time for country-ish. Don't you?
Well, I'm glad you stuck around this long now. Please share this. Share it.